Hi guys, so today we're going to model and design a sofa. So as you can see, the intent behind the design of the sofa is very comfortable. We're looking for soft edges, very organic, and then it kind of even, in terms of even the shape, it's very intentional. So it kind of follows the shape of a human body and how you want them to feel comfortable. So it kind of goes up at one end and down at the bottom, just so you can create that very comfortable design and materiality. So even over here, when you look at it in the top view, you can see that it kind of follows the shape of a woman's lips, and that just kind of goes back to a very feminine, very comfortable, very soft sofa. And then at the very end, we're going to also look at various rhino techniques such as contour, pipe, and all those, just to see and how we can change our ways of construction. So whether it's, wood paneling next to each other, or whether it's another type of fabric. So we're going to be exploring all of this in rhino. So these are kind of our outcomes that we're looking at, useful outcomes. And this is the shape that we kind of look. So as you can see over here, kind of bends down and then upwards. So how do you create the shape on rhino? So you first want to draw off, a shape. Try to draw it on the right view over here. So as you can see this shape, let's move it just so you can see it better. Okay. So as you can see, you want to draw, so I made sure, one of my design intents was to have one bigger, and so it kind of goes bigger and then smaller at the end. Okay, so you're going to be drawing something similar to this, so if you want to get the same kind of design. And at the very top, it's very smooth, it's not very exaggerated curves. So how you do this, the first tool that we're going to be using to create the volume is Sweep Tool. So you'd select the first rail, you'd select the second rail, and then you'd select the cross section that kind of tells how I want these two rails to form. Right click and OK. So that's pretty simple. So you have the volume now. How are you gonna create the contour? So it can either be like an entire sofa. Another idea, and before I continue off, just make sure that if you do like very exaggerated curves, they won't turn out as expected. So I did a lot of trials and errors with that, with different curves, and they weren't the best. So it kind of goes back to how you draw your curves, although the side profile is the same. So for instance, if I were to do sweep rail here, looks very off. So just be careful with that, with what you're doing. So let's go back to this. So another way of construction can be, for instance, I want them to be contours. I want them to be side panels that are very close to each other and someone can sit on. So let's copy paste this and take this and type in contour and say I want it to be contoured from this end to the other end. And let's say we want the distance to be 4. It depends on how big you're making your sofa. Enter. Let's group them so they're easier to handle. And type in planar surface. It makes it a surface. And let's delete the volume. And then you get yourself these surfaces, just as these, right? But now you just want to extrude them a bit. So there's a thickness to them. You're going to choose a direction. Let's go top view. You're going to choose a direction from here to there. And let's say I want it to be a 1. Super thin. And so you have a thickness to them. Now another building technique that you could be using as well is the pipe. So what you first want to do to create a very rope-like here, so what you're first going to do, you're going to select it, you're going to extract wireframe and group them. So they're basically, wireframe is basically this. So it draws out the line of the curve. You're going to select it and type in pipe. And let's say we want the the diameter for this to be 1. Enter. And you have it. Now, if you want this, this pipe to be in a different rotation, so as you can see, it goes horizontal, right? Because it followed the line of the curve. If you want it to go vertical, for instance, you can just take this over here, copy it, and select all of them, and type in pipe. It's just loading. So now they kind of, let's do that one more time. Just always make sure to group them after you do them so they're easier to move around. So now you have these kind of going around, right? And then another last technique is design elements, where we're combining these two in kind of creating like a handle seating, you know, just a design feature in the chair. So a third one is going to be, so you're going to be taking this, let's move into the other views. So let's copy this again. And for instance, you're going to be selecting, I want it every once in a while. So first of all, select all of it and ungroup because we grouped them. And then let's say you want to select this and then this. Actually, that's very close. Okay, let's say you want to select this and then another one over here. And then another one over here. Let's just say you want to select 3, for instance, and one more. And these are kind of design elements, hand rest, divider for the seats. So let's copy this right here, enter. Let's pick these up. And make them a bit bigger, a bit longer actually. Move them around so that they show. And here you got it. And so they start acting as dividers. So these are the techniques for construction that you can think of how your design is going to change. So you tried on sweep to rail, you tried here, just mixing up and matching all these different kinds and creating a different design feature. Here you can try contour, then extract wireframe and pipe, and the last one is pipe, but different ways of using these tools. Thank you.